Earth's atmosphere has helped provide and sustain life on the planet since the first organisms were born. The layer of gases, which is suspended by gravity, helps shield the planet from excessive amounts of ultraviolet radiation and has given plants the necessary chemicals to undergo photosynthesis and the air human beings and other creatures need to breathe. Since the Industrial Revolution, the atmosphere has violently turned against the organisms of Earth and is now trapping excessive amounts of heat emitted by the sun and the planet itself. While it is not necessarily the fault of the atmosphere, much of the blame goes towards us humans and our perturbation of the natural cycle. Our actions have contributed to a rapid rise in the amount of greenhouse gases. It is now that we humans must make the necessary alterations, and if there is one thing that holds true in climate change studies, is that small steps can lead to drastic changes in the future. Greenhouse gases are composed of chemicals whose bonds are asymmetrical and vibrate at the same frequencies as certain electromagnetic wavelengths, helping to retain heat. While approximately 99% of today's dry atmosphere is inhabited by non-greenhouse gases, the remaining 1%, which are greenhouse gases, continues to rise rapidly as we continue to perturb the atmosphere. These gases include water vapor, carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, and halocarbons. What makes these gases so potent is that they add a layer to the atmosphere and amplify the amount of heating the surface receives. Each new layer intensifies the heating and can lead to exorbitant consequences. Such consequences are manifesting themselves today. The greenhouse gases also have varying levels of potency, also known as global warming potential. Many of the artificially produced greenhouse gases possess more global warming potential compared to the more naturally occurring carbon dioxide because they tend to absorb infrared radiation compared to CO2. What exactly are humans doing to add to the rapid increase in greenhouse gases? One major example is the burning of fossil fuels. The process is similar to that of respiration in that energy, the end goal of combusting fossil fuels, is produced along with ample amounts of carbon dioxide. Naturally, rocks emit carbon back to the atmosphere at a slow rate, but the rate at which carbon is ejected back to the atmosphere through fossil fuel burning is 90 times that natural rate. Another human activity that adds to the amount of greenhouse gases is the emission of nitrous oxide, primarily done through agriculture and fertilization. Methane emissions, about two-thirds of which come from humans, are also contributing to the abundance of greenhouse gases despite its short lifetime. What can we as a university do to limit or curtail our greenhouse gas emissions? One step is the substitution of maintenance vehicles for electrically powered utility carts. I noticed that the school utilizes these gas-guzzling pickup trucks for short distances throughout campus. The more gas these vehicles consume, the more the university contributes towards the burning of fossil fuels, which are essential to the production of gasoline. Electrically powered carts are more cost-effective and earth-friendly. Another step the university can take is trying to reduce the amount of cars used to go to and from the school. Obviously, it is not rational to deny admissions to students who live off campus and rely upon their vehicles for transportation. Rather, the university can provide incentives for students who use carpool or use public transportation. Steps like these can reduce gasoline consumption and reliance upon fossil fuels. Next, another area the school can address in order to reduce its greenhouse gas emissions is the regulation of air conditioning in the dorms. In a small research experiment, I observed that all of my friends' neighbors in their dorm halls all had their air conditioning on. Air conditioning contributes to carbon and halocarbon emissions. The university can try to regulate the amount of air conditioning used by setting a temperature and time limit on them in order to deny students from overusing their air conditioning. Finally, education on climate change can help students and staff make better choices that will limit contributions to greenhouse gas emissions. Programs and courses, like Geo11, can produce a more Earth-conscious population. Like I had mentioned earlier, the small steps and sacrifices made now can help pave the way towards a brighter, safer future.